Hey there, folks. Time once again to do some retro CSS battles. These are for CSS battles from CSSBattle.dev from the past. We are looking at September 10, 11 September, and 12 September of 2024. Let's get right to it. I think I want to do a... What do I think I want to do? I want to do a paragraph element, and I think I need three or two of them. Border, solid, and then I need that white color. So border, solid gets you the defaults. In this case, is it like 2 pixels, 4 pixels, 5 pixels, whatever it is. It's not what we want. Border, solid, and then that color. Actually, no, we don't want that color. That's just the blue. We want the white color. There it is. And we want border width of 30 pixels. That gets you all around. 30 pixels gets you top and sides. And then 30 pixels, 0 gets you top, sides, and then bottom of 0. And that's how we do that first part. I'm going to put the margins on the body, and I think I need, because I'm going to need more than one, I'll use margins to adapt. You'll notice I don't have a width set, but paragraph tags are block level, and so they fill the space, whatever the space is. That's why you see what you see. 65, 67, and this should be 25. Yeah, 25 on the top. We're looking at the diff view. So the height needs to be taller. 120, 130, 140, 150. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 155. Divisible by 5. Not everything in CSS Battle is divisible by 5. Sometimes they're not. These numbers are as wonky as they are, probably because of the default body margins that are also in play. Regardless, that's our first step. What's our next step? Our next step is to create another one of these, and you can't see it, but I can select it with P plus P. I'm going to put a background of red on it so we can really see it. And I do a margin that's negative. And there he is. I'm going to set some other margins, like the border. Each one of those numbers means something. So you can see if I do 40 there, for 50 there, I see that. And if I do 70 there, then I get a little different view. Right, each one of those margin numbers means something. So for what I want to do, I want it to go up higher. And I think I only need 2 numbers. So that gets me narrower. Let's actually do those margins. So a little more margin. Okay, 10, 20, 30, 40. 42, and that's in alignment. So you'll notice, so now I can cover that. So if I go up to 200, 40, that's what I've got so far. What if I flip it upside down? Scale by doing a scale. Scale -1. Boom. The other thing I could do 0. Oh, and I don't want to remove it from the prior one. I want to do 0 like that. That's another way to do that. Oh, let's do that rather than bring in the whole scale thing. Yeah, it's a little longer code. That's okay. We don't care too much about the code length. Code golf, yes, but it's got to be fun. And that's showing you that you can use a variable to set a border width, and that's kind of a nice thing. And I'm going to do the same thing with a margin bar --m, and that's this set, and then this --m is a little different. And of course, there's no background on the first paragraph tag. So that's the way to do that. Minify, unit replace, using my plugins available on GitHub and linked in the description. and submit, and that is a solution. And that new high score indicates that I've done better than I've done in the past, which is always nice to see. Usually means that I haven't looked at it in a long time. That's cool. I don't look at them all the time. Revisiting them is a lot of fun for me, which is why I do these videos. There you go. All right, so for this, I think I'm just going to use, I guess I'm just using the body tag. So what are the pieces I need? I need that dash, and then I need a circle. So what the order? I think a radial gradient, that's a circle on the body that starts at yellow, goes to black, and because it's number 2, I can do that with 3 digits. Just 3 2s is the same. It'll expand out to be identical to multiple 2s. All right, so what else? Oh, I want transparent now. So now there's your circle, and I'm going to set this to like that, transparent. So I don't have, I'm going to need another thing to do that bar in the background. But for now, what I need are color stops to match this sizing. Let's try a Q unit. 30Q, 0, 40Q, 0. That's what we got now. It's all wrong. It's too small. That's all right. 100, 101, 102, 101. Let's call that. And then 40, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 48. I'm not excited about the match there, right? What you're seeing in the diff, right? So the two colors together, if my version and the reference version are identical, they should be matched completely and black out each other. That's what the diff view is all about. That's why it is useful. The fact that I'm seeing an edge there means maybe I don't want to use Q units, but we won't change that yet. I'm going to use my Swiss Army knife. Is that trademarked? That might be trademarked. Sorry, Swiss Army knife. It's my universal tool to create shapes in CSS. I really like using it. All right, so here's the shape that I've made. I'm going to make it tall and narrow by setting the center of that to be what, 50% over and then like 20% down. And that's how you get a thing like that. And then with background position, which is the first set of numbers after an image object, that's position, right? It could be a URL for an image. In this case, it's a gradient. If I do 50 pixels, 200 pixels, then I move it, and I moved it too far and not enough. 60, 70, 80, 70, 75. 100, 20, 120, 125, and then it's not too tall. 15, 16, 17, and not over far enough. 55, 60, 61, 62, 63, and that's the shape roughly. But when I submit it, the backend is going to say, hey, you know what? That's not close enough. So yeah, 99.9%. That means the units are not correct. And that's fine. 63%, so it's probably what, like 210 pixels or something? No, 220, 30, 40, 50? 250, all right. And then let's make this 40 pixels tall, 50 pixels tall, and see that nice clean black edge. Let's just go ahead and preemptively change these to be 40, 45, 45, and that is a completely clean edge. How about 90? How about 95? 95, also a complete edge, a clean edge in the diff. So we submit that, and that is a solution. So that's 2 gradients, And that's 100% match. We'll just minify and then do my unit replace plugin. There's nothing here to replace. They're all just slightly odd size. There's no VW units to help us out. And that's it. And then lastly, this little guy. This is cute, right? I don't know. It's like purple teeth in a big pink mouth. I don't know. That's kind of goofy. Sorry about that. I'm goofy. What do you want from me? All right. Let's zero out the margins of everything. And so we're going to do margin for the star. Everything gets a 0 margin. And then remove the margins. So we need a purple object. And we need a pink background. I know we kind of have that, but we need to really decide what is this object that we need here. And then how many do we need? Do we need 4 objects? Let's do it as 4. I'm not crazy about doing it as 4. But we can do it as 4, right? Could. The height is wrong. Let's make the height correct. Let's figure out what we need to do. Oh, and the thing is, my computer is currently glitching. Small glitch in the recording. I'm not sure if you missed anything, but we'll keep right on going. Okay, so something went wrong in the browser or my recording or something, but very disappointing. Regardless, let's create this shape. The first element is what? He's 50 tall, and he's going to need margins to put in the right place. Margin 0 at the top, 220, 20, 0, 20. There we go. So what numbers do we need? 210, 205, yeah. And then 100, 90, 95. And then if we do a box shadow, a border radius rather, right? We want to create those rounded edges, which I haven't even talked about. Border radius, 0, 0, 10 pixels, 10 pixels. Maybe it's 20 pixels and 20 pixels, something like that. Could it be 15? Does it matter? Yeah, it's not 15. 20 works, so that's great. Let's make another one. There he is. So what do we need to do to create the next one? Well, we could change the margins and then put them up here, right? By making this margin, this first margin negative, and then flopping the 205 and 95, we could do it. But why don't we do P plus P is margin. Well, right now it's 0, 205, 0, 95. So is it 200? Yeah. So I just did 200. But now it's flopped the wrong way. So we could do a scale -1 to flip them upside down. Or we could do the border radius very verbosely. 20 pixels, 20 pixels, 0, 0. That's another way to do it. And then for simplicity's sake, we could do box shadow. Yeah, box shadow, 100 pixels, 0. There's your box shadow. But it's the wrong color. Why is it that color? Well, because the default box shadow is black. It's the default. Well, in this case, in light mode, it's black. If we were in dark mode, and even though we're in dark mode, doesn't really matter, right? The context of that screen is light mode. So the color, current color, is another synonym. So current color usually written out lowercase with the second C as uppercase, we would set that like this, plunk. And that's a way to do that. Let's submit him. And what can we do to tune that? So we notice that these are very, very similar numbers. So if I can do variabilize this, I can do var m, and then that m represents just the top margin. I can make dash dash m just 200, and it still works. Now I can do a scale -1, and look what happens there. That's kind of fun. Oh, I like that. I like seeing that, because that's exactly what I thought would happen. Because in my head I can see that the scale is two numbers. Scale was scale on the x-axis and the y-axis, right? If I want to flip it upside down, I change the first one or the second one. Oh, I was all clever, and then I said the wrong word. The second number is the y value, and that's what flips us upside down. If I flip this one, and I'm flipping it on the x-axis, and so that box shadow, which is in relation to the object, is also flipped. Very powerful stuff. Not something we're using here, but pretty cool. Pretty cool, right? The other thing we do, we could have made this taller and then have it go off screen with a negative margin on the top, and then just done 3 box shadows. That's another option. So many different ways to do this one. It makes my purple teeth hurt. Ha ha ha. All right, minify, unit replace, and submit, and that is another set done. I am running out of these prior battles to do. It is really fun. I can see the end of this coming. I've done, so I just did 3 more, so this number will go down. I got a bunch that I still need to do in 2024, and I have a few strays that I'm unable to get to 100%. I try to do those special. Sometimes I can get to 99%. Sometimes I can't. Oh well. But you know, I always do my best. Try the best and keep hammering at it. Try to learn some CSS and make a web page and have fun with it, because that's really what it's all about. In our difficult, troubled world, make a web page, man. Everybody's got web browsers. They got web browsers on their phones. Send them a web page. It's pretty cool. All right, that's it. Have a good day. Bye-bye.